first of all, welcome guys. Welcome to the Lowlands Festival. How was it?
We actually, it was a good show. It was definitely fun. There was a lot of people. The kids were great. We had some technical difficulties that we had to try to just work through during the set, but you know, it was a lot of fun, and it's our first time ever doing the kind of run of festivals in Europe. So, I mean, it was still fun to go out and play.
Is it difficulties that have to do with electronic things you influence you?
Yeah, and our monitors, like our in-ears and everything, were all messed up. So I'd hit my hi-hat and it would sound like an earthquake, and like I was just like, oh my god. So my ears are ringing really bad right now. But you try to hide it, and the kids hopefully don't think everything's perfect.
So what are you guys doing now? Are you not touring right now, doing festivals? Or?
Yeah, we just got done with a 2-month U.S. tour. It was our first headlining tour at home, and then we came over about 3 days ago, and we did festivals the last 2 days, and then we go to the U.K. for a couple smaller headlining shows, and then we'll do Reading and Leeds, and then go home for a little time and come back in October.
Where's it gonna take you? Where you're gonna see it in the future?
I don't know. I mean, we have plans starting in the winter to start writing our next record, so we haven't really, I mean, we've started to kind of gather ideas, but we don't have any songs written, so I guess, I don't know. I say, you know, we always say that, I mean, the last song on a record is the last song that we wrote for the CD, and that was kind of where we left off, so it's probably where we'll pick up. I mean, it's all of our favorite song on the record. You know, we had a lot of fun kind of using all these instruments we'd never played before.
I heard you did a cover also of Radiohead.
Yep. Yeah, we've been doing that for the past couple months. They're just a band that we really like, and we only have the 11 songs that are on the CD, and so
you have to come up with a cover.
Yeah.
Something.
We have to fill space somehow. So.
Yeah, and it's cool because at home not as many kids know it as over here, and so it's fun to see kids singing along and everything to that.
But the first time I saw you guys playing, we were playing at the Tivoli, and I never heard of you guys, and it was already sold out, and it was all because of course from MySpace. How much would you describe your success of depended on MySpace?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's weird because like a lot of people, you know, we kind of get used as an example as kind of like the internet, the new kind of trend of how bands are being found. I mean, I think it's a good thing really because it's you know, 20 years ago you kind of had to you just had to listen to whatever the DJ wanted to play, or even when MTV first got started, whatever videos they wanted to play. And now, I mean, like MySpace or any other website that plays music, those are the kids going on there and choosing what they want to hit play on and what they want to type in. So, I mean, it's exciting, and it's a way that, you know, we'd hear from people in Australia asking us when we're going to tour there before we'd ever played a show outside of Las Vegas, which is kind of obviously could never happen without something like MySpace and the internet. So it's an awesome tool, and I think something that now is kind of everybody's catching on to and is becoming kind of the normal thing to do.
Did you guys have ever had any problems with touring because of your age? I mean, in your video, go to a strip club. Is that possible?
It's not possible now. Well, now it is. Now, because we're 18.
Yeah, we're 18, 19, so I think.
But we can only go to certain strip clubs, because I don't know the way it works in Europe, but in America,
you have bars that are 18 and over that don't serve alcohol, and they're totally nude, and then you have the topless bars that serve alcohol, because there's a rule against it, so you have to be 21.
And we're not 21, so.
But I don't even know why we're talking about it, because we've never been to a strip club.
I've never been to a strip club.
None of us has been to a strip club, so I don't know.
Well, we're close to Amsterdam now.
I mean.
Are we? How close are we?
Half an hour.
Really?
Well, maybe we'll
Let's
drive on over.
Let's go check that out. It's the first for everything.
Yeah, you got a lot of great new bands in 2006. What band do you really dig now?
Kelly Clarkson. I like her.
You do.
I do, honestly.
You really
I'm
do.
not kidding. I mean, it's
bands in 2006? What bands came out?
You got like the Arctic Monkeys, you got Baby Shambles, you got the Cooks.
It's weird because all those bands
are English.
One.
Yeah.
Well, that's not why it's weird, but I mean, I guess it's funny because I'll hear about those bands and find out how big they are over here just because of like our job, but it's so, we probably have the same thing where there's probably, stars in America you guys have never even heard of, you know what I mean? Because, like, the average kid who likes bands like us or Fall Boy in the States probably has never heard of a couple of the bands you just mentioned, which is kind of odd, but so brings me back to Kelly Clarkson.
Which is why I said, Kelly Clarkson.
Kelly Clarkson. Yeah, cool, thank you, man.
Thank you.
Awesome, thank you.